Hey, Mr. Pat, how are you this morning?
Doing great.
So before we begin our discussion of I-49, if you would just sort of tell us how involved you are, what you have done in the past, etc.
Sure. Several years ago in 2015, I was the president of the Committee of 100 here in North Louisiana, and we felt it was important to take on the I-49 intercity connector as one of our initiatives. And so we really learned about the project and got very involved with it and realized that this needed a lot of help to get pushed forward. And it really wasn't going as fast on track as we thought it should. And so we have tried to help gather up the supporters for the project and try to get it at least move forward one way or the other. So we've been working on trying to facilitate progress on that project.
Okay, so is there really going to be progress today? Because I said to Erin a while ago, I said, since we started on KEEL 3.5 years ago, I'll bet she's had 5 stories that said, opening sentence, a decision will come today. What's going to happen today?
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about because I think I've listened to all of them. It has been a frustrating process, and I think today is going to be a milestone. What has been happening is that the engineering firm that's been working on the overall EIS for the master plan of the project, which includes environmental and all of the stages that go along with a project like this. It's a very lengthy and detailed project to work on, and so there's a lot of factors that go into getting it right. And so they have delayed it several times because they've looked at different options and different routes and so forth. And so what today is that they've got it down to the final, almost to the finish line. And so they are presenting it to NLCOG today, where they are with their progress. And North Louisiana Council of Governments is going to likely to vote to support one of the routes, that they have gotten to this point. So once they do this, I think that now you would have the NPO that has supported a particular route that can move the progress forward in that direction. And so it is a big milestone, and I think it probably will happen today.
Let me ask you this. You know the group Friends of Allendale?
Sure.
They're in opposition to this freeway coming through their community. What do you say to them? Many will be displaced. Some will lose their homes and will be relocated. You have to have concern and compassion for those folks. But do you ask them to please look in the long term and the future of the city?
Well, Erin, it is important that we are very sensitive to the people that live in Allendale. That's something that is a concern to, I think, everyone. And I think the business community especially is very supportive of helping that situation and helping people relocate and making sure that the process for that is, that they get taken care of and treated right. And there are some really good government programs for relocation and even for tenants and renters. There's programs to help them relocate and move to a better environment than they're in right now. And so we're very supportive of that. But this is a project that is it's bigger than that. This is a community-wide effort, and it brings so much benefit to our community from a convenience standpoint. There's so many reasons why this is a good project for Shreveport, and I'll give you one really important one. I live out in north of Shreveport on a farm, and I come to work every morning. And everyone that's in Blanchard, MLK, North Bossier, Dixie, Blanchard, Belcher, Gillum, Austin, that whole community doesn't really have good access to the Level 1 Trauma Center. This is by completing the I-49 through the city gives us a direct route to that Level 1 Trauma Center to get access to a huge portion of our community.
Let me ask you this, Patrick. One thing here about this decision process. The Federal Highway Administration is having a public involvement meeting August 29th. And there are some who say that today's decision really doesn't matter. It's up to the feds to make the decision. We've heard numerous people say that.
Just to add on to that, so a decision comes today, and let's say Intercity Connector, how long till the other side sues?
Well, I think the other side is going to sue. They've been very vocal, and they have really been, it's a small group of people that's been very, very loud and tried to disrupt this process any way they can. And they have certainly threatened to sue and do anything they can to stop it. And you're going to have this in any kind of project like this growing through a major city. The Federal Highway Administration, their job, along with DOTD, is to review the research and all of the studies that they have done, which is, let me tell you, is extensive. I mean, they have evaluated every aspect of a project like this, from economic development to convenience. Think about it. This is a 1,300-mile interstate system. This doesn't just involve Shreveport. This involves the entire country.
Economic impact, Patrick, on our community, if it comes through the city or if it doesn't. You guys have crunched some numbers?
Yeah, it's a huge impact to our community. I mean, it's anytime that you can complete interstates and connect them together like this, you've got you have a much better environment to attract other businesses and manufacturing companies. I mean, it opens up a lot of things. I mean, think about cities like Baton Rouge that don't have the traffic issues that we don't. Shreveport is a very smooth flowing, easy to get around. The entire North community can't get to South Shreveport. I can't get to Uri Drive very easily from where I live, and neither can all the people in Blanchard and North Bossier and everywhere up north. They have no way to get to downtown very easily or through the city to South Shreveport.
Patrick, do you expect today's meeting to be contentious at all?
I do, because I know you won't see that from the business community. I think in fact, most business communities, most business organizations like the North Shreveport Business Association, the Committee 100, the Chamber of Commerce, NLEP, groups like that have all passed resolutions of support, and I think you'll see people from those organizations there to support this meeting. But you'll also see the opposition, and they're going to be loud and vocal and very, they will try to do whatever they can to be disruptive, as they have in a lot of the other meetings.